So, how you're going to remove psychic attack really depends on what kind of psychic attack and who it's coming from. In basic terms, you can break it down to is it coming from a person? Is it coming from a location? Or is it coming from an entity? So, if you don't know the answer to that question, that's step one. You can try to get the question from your intuition. You can send your monkey mind like away and try to really drop into your body and get quiet and ask where it's coming from. And so, if it's coming from a person, then you're going to try and figure out what person. So, if it's coming from a person, you want to figure out who, and you don't technically have to know, but it would be helpful. If it's coming from a person, that's pretty easy to deal with, luckily. So that's the case when like using oils or crystals or pendants could be helpful. Probably the number one thing to do when psychic attack is coming from a person is return to sender. So energetically returning all of this energy to where it came from. You can also send it back to like source to be transmuted and transformed. Um, Sending it back to sender is a bit of a risk. It could get them to stop because then they're getting all of this, or it could piss them off depending on who it is. Um, that also depends on like, are they a practitioner? Are they a practitioner who is intentionally doing this? In that case, you're kind of gambling if you want to send it back to them, if it's going to piss them off or stop them. If they're doing it on accident, because it is actually really easy for people to send you psychic attack on accident. Anytime someone is like really ruminating about how much they dislike you or how jealous of you they are or all of this stuff, like that can manifest as psychic attack. So you can return to sender or send it back to source, and then you can shield yourself. And there's a variety of ways to do that. But one of the ways you could do that is just like mirrors, where like energetically you're surrounding yourself with like a layer of mirrors so that after you've sent what's already gone away back to sender or to source, then you're creating this energy where it just like it's all going back out. So oils, crystals, pendants. This is the situation where people like use the evil eye, or they'll have crystal bracelets or necklace that'll sometimes crack when it's absorbed enough negative energy. So that's a great situation for that. Also, if you know who it is and it's someone that you can choose to stop interacting with, it depends. If it's not on purpose, you could talk with them about it. I maybe wouldn't use the word psychic attack. Or you could just decide, well, like, how important is this person to you? If it's not on purpose, that's different. If it's someone who's doing this on purpose, why do you still want them in your life? You can choose to remove them, like depending on who it is. If it's a acquaintance or something like that, stop hanging out with them. If they're intentionally sending you psychic attack, please stop hanging out with them. If it's a location that you can stop going to, leave. Like if it's a workplace and you keep getting psychic attack from the workplace, whether it's from entities in the workplace, the energy of the workplace itself is kind of manifesting as psychic attack, or like a lot of coworkers and it's not a good environment for you, do whatever you can to change the job. Those two are both pretty easy. Now, when it comes to psychic attack coming from entities, that's a little bit more complicated to explain in a video because it's so nuanced and it's going to be entirely different in every single situation. There's like 1,000 different scenarios that I could bring up right now, but it's more complicated. So the simplest thing I can say when it comes to psychic attack from entities is knowing your power. At the end of the day, bar all, you are so incredibly powerful and you are more powerful than them. You have sovereignty and domain over your body. You also have more power and sovereignty and domain here on earth because this is your domain and it's not theirs. So owning your power is so, so important. Most people get really afraid, which is absolutely understandable because it can be really scary. But the more you're in your fear, the less power you have. And that makes it really difficult when you're telling them to go away, like you're yelling, you're swearing, and banishing them. You can invoke the name of God. Whether you like the term God or not, it's a really helpful term when you're doing this type of work. In the name of God, like I compel you to go away. Um, I would swear, definitely swear. Um, it's a little bit complicated. But the most important, the best number tip I can give you without having any other details, because there's 1,000 details here, is to really, really, really be in your power. Now, these situations can get complicated. Try it for yourself, see how it goes. If you have great success, that's amazing. You can call on the archangels. Those are really helpful as well. You can call on your guides for help. Invoke any spirit guides that you totally, totally trust and know well. Absolutely. Call on all your resources. Now, if that doesn't work, I would really, really recommend working with a practitioner because you just want it to stop, right? And you deserve for it to be over. And there's a variety of different reasons why what you're doing isn't working, and that's okay. And there's just, it can be so complex. There could be past lives involved, there could be ancestral stuff involved, or it could just simply be that you have fear, whether it's subconscious or conscious or all these other things. And it's just a lot easier for a bystander to come in who doesn't have any of this fear, who doesn't have any emotional connection to come in and help you. Whether they're going to help the situation and it's just one and done, whether it's ongoing with help, or whether they're going to help and then also empower you so that if it ever comes up again, then you know what to do. So, if you are looking for help and you need extra help in this situation, I have my link below where you can book with me.